Hello, everybody. How are you all doing today? Are some of you sick like I am? Because, I know the feeling. It sucks. Yeah, I'm sorry that I haven't been able to, record some vlogs as of late. I've, been a little sick, and, I've also been feeling pretty tired the past 2 days, so yeah. Pretty much right at the time where I'd usually be recording a vlog, I'd just be taking a nap because I was very tired. But I feel a little less tired today, although I'm still kind of sick. So yeah, my voice might sound like it's on the verge of giving up on itself, but I am fine now, so I'm back. I'm alive. So yeah, I missed all of you guys. So how are you all doing? Like I said, I know it sucks to be sick, but y'all are trying your best, and I appreciate that. So yeah, I didn't really do much today. Last night I stayed up till like 7 in the morning. Like I literally stood up all night, and then I just got tired and went to sleep. And I only slept until around 11 o'clock, so around 4 hours, or at least that mom said I got at least 4 hours of sleep. She could be exaggerating though. I'm pretty bad at math, especially when it comes to time. You know, I can't really, do math to time that properly. So, yeah, that's a thing. And, yep, day in the life. I'm here now. And, I figured for today's vlog, I, tell you a character story today. So, I don't know if a lot of you know about Barnaby. You see, there's this game called Billy Bust Up, but, I think quite a few people know the concept as to what that game kind of is. Excuse me. Just did a little burp. That was awkward. So Barnaby is my personal favorite character from Billy Bust Up. And to those of you who don't know, Billy Bust Up, I guess, how do I explain it? Like, imagine a game where it's combined with, like, Cuphead mixed with Friday Night Funkin', except you don't really, shoot at anything with your snapping your fingers to shoot at stuff. And, yeah, basically each villain sings a song, and there'll be obstacles that they throw at you depending on the matching the themes and the rhythms with that song. And it's your job. You play as a little goat. I don't know what her name is yet. And she also has a Pat Fox there. I may have to look up their names. I don't even think I watched a full playthrough of Billy Bust Up. I may have to do that, so like I can get a better idea of the lore. I basically just like to listen to the song, and that's basically a bunch of songs. You dodge some obstacles, and yeah, that's basically what the game is. So yeah. And Barnaby is my personal favorite character, like I said. And, quite a few people know who Barnaby is, actually. That giant black owl with the purple vest and the crazy yellow swirly eyes is fascinated with different ways you can die, which is creepy. But at least he presents them in a innocent manner. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, well, yeah. I believe he was the result of a failed experiment gone wrong. He's been dead for 100 years or something. I don't know. Like I said, I may have to research more about the Billy Bust Up lore because I haven't watched. I again haven't watched a full playthrough yet. So yeah, that's a lot to look forward to. Basically, he's I think one of the more harder bosses to beat in Billy Bust Up, and you basically he sings this song called "A Million Gruesome Ways to Die," and yeah, a lot of you might know that song off the top of your head, and you may have watched the level, a full playthrough of the level as well. I've seen it a million times. I think recently the level has got an update to it. Just some tweaking around with designs, opting for more vibrant movements and all that stuff. The song lyrics hasn't changed a bit. It's just they tweaked around with the physical design a little bit, made it look less bland like it used to. So yeah, that's a good thing. I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. Don't you hate when that happens? When you're about to say something and then all of a sudden it's just gone? Like 2 seconds later? That happens to my parents a lot, especially my dad. My dad has what he calls old man disease. Yeah. I'm trying to think. My lips feel very dry. Oh yeah, I think I remember now what I was supposed to say. Oh wait, I'm forgetting again. Oh crap. Oh yeah, now I remember. Wait. I'm having like a 500,000 brain flashes right now. I'm gonna forget Barnaby's whole story in like 2 seconds. Oh yeah, now I remember. So basically in Barnaby's level, unlike the other levels where they had you stand in one spot and just run around, avoid the obstacles, this level you're just sprinting the heck out of Barnaby's castle. Like you're running and like imagine like Temple Runner, but if the camera was faced backwards to show the view of the player's face and the opponent behind it. So it's basically like Temple Runner, but with a reverse freaking camera. And yeah. Barnaby's level in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, I watched the song a million times, and oh my god, it's one of the most grooviest songs I've ever listened to. Literally one of the most grooviest songs. I get it stuck in my head every single time it plays. In fact, I think I'm getting it stuck in my head right now just talking about it. Yeah, it's a good song, good song. And the meaning behind it's a little creepy because he's listed off different ways you could die, some of which are totally random and might happen 1 in a million chance of happening. But I did the beat and the music is catchy, the beat is catchy, the rhythm is catchy, and like I said, I'm getting it stuck in my head by just speaking about it, Yeah, and one of the reasons that Barnaby is my favorite character isn't just because of the song, but the fact that Barnaby has autism. Or at least his voice actor has autism. But I looked up Barnaby in the wiki one time, and it did confirm that Barnaby himself, is autism because his voice actor has autism. And for someone who also struggles with autism, I can relate a lot to his character. It's like, I don't know if any of the rest of you have been through this, but basically, it's okay when you relate to a character so well, either by the same personality, you grew up in the same environment, you've been through the same struggles, or you have the same mental illness in some cases. And, yeah, so that's sort of how me and Barnaby are about each other, you know? We both have autism, and we're both crazy. I mean, I'm out here talking about random characters and making up silly stories for them. I mean, not all of them are silly. In fact, a lot of them are kind of sad, but you know what I mean. And Barnaby is out here singing different ways you can die while chasing a goat out of his castle. And while chasing a goat around his castle. So, yeah. You know, I also watched his cutscene a lot. The cutscene where we first meet Barnaby. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you guys have saw the Barnaby level a lot, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, he's such a silly little boy, Barnaby is. You know, he's just a silly, sweet guy. He's a little goof. And that's why I love him. We're both goofs. And that's why we love it. But of course, he's been through a really rough time as of late. Every character has, actually. And of course, it involves Jack. Of course, like always. Yeah, Jack just ruins lives, man. I might go over Laughing Jack's story, and how his story evolved in my new book, in a later vlog. But I don't want to make this vlog too long, so we're just gonna move on. So let me see if I can get my story together. So yeah. Basically, it all began when Barnaby was in his castle, minding his own business. You know, it was after a big party. He was cleaning everything up. When all of a sudden, he looked out one of his windows and saw the silhouette of what looked like a dragon standing behind the window, with a sickening grin on its face, looking right at him. And Barnaby wasn't really nervous. I mean, he'd be out here having parties with ghosts, with dead people, literally dead people. So he's faced way worse, but he's never seen a dragon before. He's heard about them a lot, sure, but he's never seen one so up close before. And outside his window, he walked closer to the window. But that's in the moment when Jack ran off. Well, not really ran off. He just sort of lowered its head out of view of the window and like crept away. And Barnaby was naturally confused. But at first he thought that maybe the candles in his castle was making the light on his window go off. I mean, after all, he does have silhouette light decorations he sometimes puts up on his windows during a party. And so he's not really new to creepy stuff. So he carried on with his business. And then around an hour or two later, he looked out another window. And he again saw that same weird looking dragon like creature. And he knew at that moment that it couldn't possibly be a decoration. I mean, he'd taken all the decorations down by then. He was just... I don't really know what he was doing. Something, setting up a ginormous fireplace, I guess. But, yeah, I don't know what he was doing. Probably just sitting there zoning out. Or something else. And, yeah, and, oh dear, I'm forgetting again. I hate when this happens. Oh boy. Maybe this is what happens when I go into too much detail. I forget the details. So, I'll just give the basics. So, basically, oh no. Excuse me. You know, when you have a cold, allergies love to bite you in the butt. And for anyone else out there who's struggling with the cold, just know, you have my blessing, alright? I hope you all feel better. I know the weather's been getting more crappy, you know, not great. I mean, it's not like the weather is crappy, but, it's just that it changes so fast that our bodies can't adjust to it right away, apparently. Those nasty bacteria, they love to make our lives miserable. But anyways, back to Barnaby's story. So... basically, after a third time of seeing Jack out his window staring at him before lowering his head and creeping off, he suddenly heard his front door. He suddenly heard a firm knock. I'm sorry if that made the camera shake. Like I said, it's the downside of recording on a laptop. It's super sensitive. So yeah, he heard a knock. A soft but firm, coming from his front door. Barnaby was naturally confused. All of his guests are already long gone for the night, so there was no way they were here for another round. Right? Barnaby opened the door. No, he didn't open the door. I completely messed that up. He walked to the front door and was about to open it, but he stopped. He had a strong, pulling, dreadful feeling in his stomach that something was not right. In fact, it felt the opposite of right. It felt wrong. Very wrong. Like there was a demon right outside his door, even though he didn't even see the face yet. He stood there, motionless, concerned about what he was going to do. And after a few moments, he felt the thing knock again. Along with a voice A sweet but very sick, sick, a sick and evil voice coming from the other side of the door. The voice said, "Hello? Anyone in there? Open the door." "I just want to greet you." The voice was low and very creepy. It creeped Barnaby out. He had that same feeling of dread, only grew as he still stood there, one of his hands still on the doorknob, but not twisting it, not even flinching. After a few more moments of dreadful silence, the thing knocked, louder this time, seemingly growing a little irritated. "Barnaby," the voice said, "open the damn door." "Or I'll open it myself." Those words alone only seemed to scare Barnaby more, as he knew that was a threat. A very menacing one at that. And after a few moments of unbearable silence, the voice spoke again, this time without knocking. "Okay, fine," the voice said. "Very well. I'll just enter your home myself. Since you want to be so rude." The thing in the front doors then swept open, then causing Barnaby to violently flinch back from the motion. And there, at the other side of the door, stood that same creature, that same dragon. Barnaby was shocked. He knew that creature was creepy, but he certainly didn't expect that thing to enter his castle, his house. Barnaby was a little scared, obviously. But the creature surprisingly didn't yell. But by the look in its eyes, Barnaby could tell that it wanted to. The creature then told Barnaby that his name was Jack, and that he had come to Barnaby's castle to provide a position for him, and to ask him for a favor. And to ask him for a favor is more like it. And Jack asked Barnaby to work for him. And when Barnaby hesitated, Jack, being the oh so kind gentleman that he is, which he is not, made a threat. He said that if Barnaby did join him, that he and his comrades would burn down his castle and kill all of his ghost companions. Barnaby, being downright terrified by that threat, soon agreed. I mean, what else was he supposed to do? And so he joined Jack. And Jack didn't really send Barnaby to kill anybody. He just forced him to spy on Golden Tail and of the Queen and royalty of Mako Island and give them information. So nothing too severe. However, the more he spied on Golden Tail, the more he realized how happier Golden Tail is without harming anybody. And in case you guys are about to say, oh, he's just spying on people, sure, it's raw, but it's not like it's actually hurt anybody, right? Well, Jack, sometimes someone would see Barnaby spying on Golden Tail and threaten to report him for stalking. And Jack orders him that if anyone finds out, Barnaby knock out that person and bring him to him so that he can become a prisoner in their bloodhouse. I'll explain what the bloodhouse is in another vlog. And yeah. So he sent him to spy on people and kidnap people and keep them prisoner. So yeah. Not a very harmless job now, is it? So yeah. And Barnaby soon began to realize that what he was doing was not wise at all, and that he should confront Jack about this. And so, one day, one day, a child saw Barnaby. Of course, Barnaby reported back to Jack about this incident, and as usual, Jack sent him to kidnap the child and bring it to him. This time, Barnaby did not comply, saying that he was not going to just kidnap an innocent child. And after a bit of heckling with each other, Barnaby walked off. Or more likely ran off, back to his castle, expecting this whole mess to be done and over with. However, he very clearly forgot about Jack's threat before all this. And of course, Jack did what he had described to Barnaby he would do. Using this magic, along with the help of his gain, he burned Barnaby's castle practically to the ground. Then, using an advanced magic that hatred had taught him, Jack and Christina worked together to enslave the ghosts and tear out their life force, killing them instantly, and only fueling their magic. Worst of all, they made Barnaby watch the whole thing. Then, Jack wanted to do one last thing. He wasn't yet satisfied with burning Barnaby's castle or killing all of his friends. He wanted to kill Barnaby himself for betraying him. But Barnaby ran off. Or at least tried to. He dashed through the dense woods that surround his castle. Tried desperately to get away from Jack, but Jack just kept chasing him. Barnaby tried to hide, but Jack would usually find him only 2 or 3 minutes later. Then Barnaby ran to a cliff, near the edge of the island where his castle lay. And he knew what he needed to do. With Jack cornering him and no opening left to run, he flew. Of course, that night it was a terrible storm. And since Jack was in his dragon form, he flew after Barnaby through the storm. It was chaos. Jack kept trying to slash him from the air, with Barnaby unable to dodge any attacks, getting his wings scratched and bruised in the process. Then, after yet another slash attack from Jack, Barnaby lost his balance, just as a massive bolt of thunder crashed down, causing the shock and the attack combined caused Barnaby to lose his altitude and come plummeting into the ocean. Barnaby then resurfaced after a moment, thrashing and struggling against the strong, unbearable currents, but the waves kept slamming into him, throwing and tossing him around like a rag doll. And after what felt like an eternity of painful struggling, Barnaby finally reached a beach. And he was exhausted. His breath was shortened. He was cold, exhausted, and in shock. As with his autism, he's still unable to process what he had seen. And so he collapsed onto the beach and cried. His sobbing barely illegible above the crashing waves and the roaring of the thunder. He wanders, for now, around. He would often take shelter, like in under awnings or in my garage. I don't know why he sticks around me. Maybe he knows that I'm welcoming him here of my own free will. Yeah, I can't help but feel bad for the poor guy. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of Barnaby's story for now. Like I said, not all these stories are happy and silly and cheerful, unfortunately. So, yeah, and with that, I'll be coming to the end of this vlog. Me and Mom are going to be watching the new Mufasa movie that came out of Disney recently, later when Dad goes to bed. I think Dad goes to bed around 9, so, still have like a whole hour. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed listening to, my Barnaby AU story. And, yeah, I'll be, and again, I'm sorry for, not recording much, as of late because I'm sick. But I'm now feeling a little better, so I'll try to record more vlogs again for all of you guys. So, yeah. Bye, everybody.